Hey, welcome back. This is Lone Wolf, and we are playing Vintage Story using version 121.0. And I've done some work around here. Things don't look the same. I haven't really done more building, but I've extended out the building with the rammed earth and given myself some protection, a little protected area from the weather, not from anything else. Um, and it feels nice. I built many more better crates and have organized my stocks. I still have plenty of chests still, but oh, this is how I play. This is this is what makes Lone Wolf happy. Have things sitting out in the open. I've been back down in the mob farm, and I'll show you what I've done down there. I haven't done any construction on it, but I have done something down there. And in the process, there were many things to kill, and so I've got more temporal gears. We left off where we were making glass for the mob farm. Uh, I've expanded my leather working, even though I haven't been doing a whole lot of hunting. Uh, Collecting honey. I mean, we almost have a full barrel of honey now. Oh, what else have we done? I've done a lot of things. But what I've not done, what I'm really trying to make sure that I do is that I kind of keep the continuation of the story together and I don't advance that part of what we're doing. But I am first a player and I like to play, so I play and it would be far more videos than anybody could consume with me playing as much as I like. Just harvested the reeds and I've got things updated here in the apiary. And one of the things that I've done, I went on a deliberate trip, and it was a long trip to find enough lily of the valley to remove all my forget-me-nots. And now this doesn't look like a shimmering body of water over here anymore because we've got lily of the valley instead of the forget-me-nots, which I still love my forget-me-nots. Um, we've grown and harvested enough cabbage to where I have more than a full stack of cabbage seeds. I've put, again, this is the way that a lone wolf likes to play. I have better crates for my individual seeds. And as we can see here on the cabbage, I've got 89 of them now. I've got more than the stack of the peanuts, um, more than two stack of my rice, etc. And I have found some pineapple seeds, and I've got them in here growing. It's the only thing I have planted in the farm right now. And you can see they're 11 of 16 in their growth. I had 8 seeds, and I'm growing those because I can. One of the benefits of having large farms, like I always use, is that I can pretty much grow anything anytime I want to. That is to say, I've got enough ground that some of it's fully recovered here or there. Um, but don't be surprised if I do double its size and, you know, take everything and extend it out to here. Um, it costs me nothing. I find the dirt as I'm out adventuring, the soil, I should say. And let's see how much we've got. So we've got 288 more high fertility soil. Something to just keep finding. Um, Found some loose meteoric iron on the surface. I have worked and found, actually mined a couple of non-surface copper deposits and have built up those stocks. We've got lots of tin here, cassiterite. The iron. I have completely mined out our original mine, and I went back to the area. If you'll recall, this was where we went down here and we came over here and we found the ore here. But this whole area is all readings about magnetite. So I went north and I'm mining another rich deposit, and I don't think there's a whole lot left in that. But don't let this number fool you of 1185. That is a nice quantity because we have this number here, 288. So I've taken our iron chunks and broke them down to nuggets, put them in the bloomery, and I've cooked up lots of batches of iron. So we've got some ingots sitting here. We've got blooms ready to turn into iron ingots, and we still have plenty of iron here, and there is more. So feeling really good about iron. I've made a whole bunch of nails and strips out of copper. Keep harvesting the honey, etc., as I mentioned. I've got all the flax out here. Been collecting resin as I find it. We've got these 192 set up for the mob farm. So just wandering around, uh, I see things, I collect things. We've got silver here, and let's see, we should have, okay. So I did find some bismuthinite, and I have melted up 40 nuggets to make a plate, and I've made a bismuth lantern. And I've also used um, 40 nuggets of the silver, and so now I have a silver lined bismuth lantern. Ash and I both agree that this is, you know, molybdenum, tin lantern, all kinds of lanterns look great, but to me, this is the most beautiful uh, metal in the game. I think it's gorgeous. I love the rainbow effect on it. Um, and so I found it worthy to put a silver lining in because this is distinguished from all the copper lanterns that I've made. I should still have a stack of them somewhere. So since I brought up the copper lanterns, oh, chandelier, I love you. So we did find a chandelier, and I've placed it in there and got rid of all the extra torches. So here we are heading down to the mob farm construction area, and you'll see that no, I've not done a bunch of work. And when we left, I had placed torches about to keep the mobs from spawning. Well, we know that torches only last 3 days without being replaced, and my focus wasn't on keeping torches lit in the mob farm area. So I went and made 28 copper lanterns, and now I can come up here safely. The reason I have those temporal gears is because I came up here torches that had expired, and this thing was full of mobs, and uh, I killed them all. I didn't die this time, but I had to work really hard to not die and be very careful. And so placing the lanterns up here now gives me a currently safe place to work. Um, as for the mob farm, I have created uh, a couple of worlds that I have worked in working on the design and construction of the mob farm because it's much easier to do in creative mode. Uh, you don't have so many penalties for mistakes or choices that you make because you can fix everything. You can do whatever you want in creative mode. So I have I have worked hard on that. I've spent many hours on it, and I do want to do some more testing on it. But as far as I can tell, it's doing exactly what I want it to do, and I'm not going to share anything more about it. When we decide to go back to work on it, then you'll learn more about what I have in mind with it. But it is based on what I had on Crystal Seas, but it is not the same. Always room for improvement, and I have actually given some serious thought about this mob farm, came up with some goals of some things, and so in this creative building I've been doing, I've been working on those ideas, and so far it looks good. Okay, so I, as you know, I've been working hard to get the mushrooms from reappearing out here, and I've I've had some success doing what I was doing in the first place, but I combined my answer that I got when I reached out for help, and I've just been more aggressive about the area that I've taken out. Um, I think perhaps what is different is, like right here we had mushrooms growing, and so I picked up all the dirt in a large section instead of just onesie twosie, because probably what was happening is the mushrooms were just spawning at individual times, and it was probably working for each one that I was taking out. But I mean, I certainly wasn't pinpointing where each individual mushroom was that I was trying to remove. So it's been a long time since mushrooms have reappeared there. And over by the apiary, I've had mushrooms reappearing, and I've had them appear out here. And I think, I think maybe it's working. I've harvested the entire tree farm out here. We've got 3 species planted out here, and they've all matured. And I've taken all 3 of them down. And most recently, I took down the oak. And the oak, the way that I've got these separated is fantastic because I'm gaining on seeds, and that was one of the challenges when I do my pine trees. You'll see, I obviously I don't have this thing everything lined up right, but when I do the pine trees, you'll see that I'm going to plant them right one seed right next to the other, and for some reason the pine trees, because they have so much foliage growing on them above their trunks, it just works, and I get more than I'll plant 64 and I'll get more than 64 seeds back. But this is the entirety of all pine tree seeds that I've gotten. The maple, the way that I've got them planted, I've gained on those, and the same with the birch trees. So I've got these planted and have harvested them, and immediately just replant them. So I'm happy with my tree farm. Um, the first goal is to get me the wood that I want. The quantity of sticks, oh my gosh, we'll take a look at how many sticks I have. But of course, the secondary goal of the tree farm is to get back more seeds than it took me to plant the stuff. I'm not trying to make gobs and hordes of stacks of it, but planting them at the spacing that I have, that's the only reason why I have all the seeds that I have. Anyways, I'm really happy with this. It will continue to be expanded. If we look on the map, you can see that this is quite large. All of this started off as a knob, like this one or this one here, and I took that down, and then I just have filled all the ground around it and built it up to this level. So I've quite a bit of time invested in that, but I'm extremely happy with the results. We ended last episode where I was at the Resonance Archive, and I couldn't help it. I went down the stairs, but that was as far as I went. I just came back home um, because I want to be better prepared when I go in the Resonance Archives this time than I have been in the past. Yeah, here, speaking of sticks, yep, 7,234 of them. I have lots of sticks. In the meantime, while playing, I have found a translocator here. I have to remember, yeah, I'm quite certain that I come to it here. This is a cave that I've gone down, and I think we had recorded, and there was just lots of mobs in there, and I got lost getting out, so I have two additional exits. I think this one is the original, but doesn't matter. One of the goals was to get temporal gears if I could, and of course see whatever resources were down there. And another, tertiary goal was, of course, getting more temporal gears so that I can repair translocators because we still have not come upon bauxite, and I have I've explored a very large part of this map, and there's the Resonance Archive, so it's not very far from my house. Um, anyways, I've done a lot of exploring, and it's just not anywhere quickly accessible. So that's why I want to have the temporal gear so I can repair some translocators. I think I have three of them that I know of marked on the map. But I made an important discovery. I didn't make it on my own. I was watching another uh, vintage story content creator, and if we pull up help and we go to the guide and we pull up the beehive kiln guide, the thing that has put me on this quest for bauxite was false. Because as I was reading this, what I read was refractory brick, refractory brick gratings. Hmm. And this is where I stopped reading. Regular fire clay brick versions of these blocks, gratings, and kiln door can be used, but will degrade faster. I didn't need bauxite to build the beehive kiln, and I wanted that done early, early in my playing through here because the whole point of it is you've got lots of fire clay burnings to do for all the different things that you need. And here, the reason I wanted it early is because I didn't want to use the pit kiln. I wanted to use the much more efficient and less expensive beehive kiln. And because of my uh, poor reading style, whatever we're going to call it, I didn't read the instructions well, and I missed out on the fact that the whole thing could be made of fire clay. I knew that I just knew that I could use fire clay everywhere, but when I read the refractory brick grading, for some reason my mind read that and registered that it could only be made out of refractory brick. Well, okay, I was wrong. It's a little embarrassing, but not too embarrassing because I just can't get too concerned over the mistakes that I make. As far as I know, everybody makes mistakes. And again, I'm really not too embarrassed. I wish that I had done this differently and I'd have had the beehive kiln. Right now, I am not urgent in my desire to have it, but we will get that made and we'll make it with fire clay bricks and it will work and it will be just fine. But I've made all kinds of cooking pots and everything else that you just simply need. Um, but one thing that the pit kiln can't do is provide me the different colors of ceramics that the beehive kiln will do. And I haven't really done that in the beehive kiln. I've not experimented with the different colors. And that's something that I do want to do. Okay, let's see if we can find and repair the translocator. Uh, in this cave. So we've got repair material. Let's just grab a little more food while we're here. Because if we go through and we find good things, doesn't mean we want to come back right away. So let's go prepared. Let's see, the trunk is on my back, so it's empty. Let's take some more of this. So food-wise, we're okay. We've got full bandages, full ladders, full torches, lantern, everything. Tools are in reasonable condition. All right, let's see if we can find this translocator. I'm less clear about how I found this one, but I've got it clearly marked, and all I've got to do is put ladders down, which is actually, let's bring extra ladders. It's one of the things I always do when I go TL repairing, bring extra ladders, because I take ladders up to the surface. All right, maybe we're prepared now. I did just go down into the cave to make sure that I could find my way to the translocator, because you don't need to see me searching for an hour. It's not because I'd be embarrassed for you to see it. I do embarrassing things all the time. So that's not it. I just didn't want to fill this episode with me fumbling around trying to find where was the translocator. And I've actually tried to place better markers on how I get in and out and get around inside this cave. I probably should bring some signs in. Oh, well, hello. I don't think I hit him that time. Nope, definitely didn't hit him that time. Some of these shivers, if not all of them, when they're in that mode, they're actually invulnerable. All right, Bowtorn. Well, you must be, I see, well, where is he at? I don't know. See if I can get out of his range down here. see if we can harvest this guy. I know a lot of players have given up on harvesting these light guys, and you know what? That's okay. That's valid. I get tired of getting nothing. Ooh. I get tired of getting nothing too from them, but guess what? You do get things from them sometimes. And if I give up and stop harvesting them, then I'm guaranteed to not get anything from them. So I continue to... Where is that bowtorn? Well, the shiver made himself known. I think when he's curled up on his back like that, I could hit him 10 times and would not be damaging him. That's what I've concluded. Good grief. Oh my goodness. Oh, well, we're at very high rift activity. That's a great time to come into a cave, by the way, if you like lots of enemies. And these are not the worst enemies at all, so they're not so hard to kill compared to the tougher ones, of course. They also have far less chance of giving you what you want. Even though they're not the tough ones, they can still cause battle anxiety if you suffer from that. That's a lot of enemies we've just taken out. Now we see here that we've got bow-torn projectiles. Oh my goodness. I just want to go repair my TL and see what we can find. But this is a vintage story. This is how it goes. Wow. Oh. I can see right now coming back down to where I happen to know. Wow, look at all those. Is it worth harvesting those guys? Oh, Wolf says absolutely yes. So I need to mark. Is there something above me? Whatever. All right. I'm continuing on. I've tried to make this, tell myself, no, not this way. And, hey, come this way. And I'm trying to make them close enough that you can see them. I've set this across to tell, oh, saw blade drifter. I better be on my game. Oh, how can he hit me from that far away? It's not right. He's got a small hitbox, and he does lots of damage right through the iron chain that I'm wearing. You think iron chain is good enough? No. That's for you to decide. But we're getting a lot of things. Okay, we just came down from there, and I'm saying, no, don't go this way, but I'm also marking this way. And I put this wall up because on the other side of the wall, I just had lots of enemies sitting over there shooting at me. And ta-da, we have made it to the Translocator location. I'm going to wall this all off. We will make a door at this location. Okay. I had the recording paused, so no question I didn't record everything I was trying to, but all I did was mark both translocators where they're connecting points to each other. I don't know how long I had that pause going on the recording. I hope we didn't lose a lot. First thing I like to do is clean out the translocator room. I don't I dislike coming into a translocator and not having room really to even move. So we get the trunk out now, place it, and just start moving everything in here. Lots of things that we have picked up we're going to probably throw away, but I'm still in the point of cleaning out the room. And a copper spear. Okay, sorting out the inventory is not what I want to do right now. What I want to do is see where we are. So we're 2/3 down to mantle from sea level because we're at 31. Stability, temporal stability is not bad. You can see my gear's barely going counterclockwise, which is not positive. Okay, I don't think he can get through because of all the blocks in the way. Okay, I don't see, well, I was going to say I don't see any obvious exit, but maybe this is a way up to the surface. If there's a way up to the surface that is convenient and isn't far from the translocator, then I will choose that as my exit. I'd rather not spin my laddering up to the surface to get out of the temporal or the translocator room to the surface. And this may keep going, and I may get up through there, but what I'm going to do, and I typically prefer it anyways, is I'm just going to ladder up from the translocator. Wow. Lots of baddies, as anticipated. I'm going to seal the room off. Ah, dang it. All right, I gotta kill this guy. Oh, come on, wolf. We're not going back through the translator. We're just going to kill this guy, and we're going to block the entrance off. Okay, we now have a secured room, having taken lots of damage. All right, I guess this is where we're going to leave off. We've got a plenty long video here. Thank you so much for choosing to spend your time with me. I hope you are entertained. I am as a player. Always excited to do these things. If you like what I'm doing, please consider subscribing to my channel. Please click on that like button. I love hearing from you, so please post comments. I will respond. But once again, come watch my next episode, won't you? Thank you so much, and goodbye.